everybody, and welcome back. I know I haven't vlogged in a really long time. It's been like 2 weeks. I have been super busy, and I thought maybe it'd be nice to have the natural light coming in. I didn't want to have the fan light on because we have a ceiling light that's right over this table that I vlog at, but I think it's a little bit too harsh, and it makes my face look weird underneath, but I think just being lit from one side is really not that much better. So I might play with the lighting a little bit and we'll see what happens. I want to kind of get a better feel for how to make these videos seem a little bit more professional and a little bit more, I guess, entertaining, although today isn't going to be that entertaining, so I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't have a ton to talk about. I've been super duper busy with business stuff for my home business. You can see behind me here is just a pile of fabric that I need to bring up into my new craft room. And I changed the angle because all of that pretty stuff that was behind me, that cupboard, the little table where I kept all my stuff, all of that is gone. That was our roommate's. She took it with her when she moved. And we're pretty bummed. We both miss her a lot. I mean, she's only been gone a few days, and our daughter misses her a lot too. She's very close to our daughter, so we'll have to have her over for dinner sometime soon. But those are gone now, so there's really nothing behind me if I were to sit in front of the window again. But then I was like, well, let's sit in front of this cool cabinet we have that's full of all of our cool toys. We've stopped really buying any new collectibles over the last few years just because we have a kid now and finances are a little bit tighter. And so some of our hobbies are just, we don't have the money for them right now. But we do like to display what we do have. And my husband, most of these are my husband's. My husband's a very impressive collection. And I think maybe I'll do a vlog one day where I just take my phone and I go through all of our toys. I might have him here for that because he knows who all of them are. I can talk. He knows who what all of these characters are. I only know the ones that are either gotten for me or that it was a shared interest. And like this whole side you can't really see in the video, and this whole side you can't really see in the video. Like this is all my stuff on this side, and there's a lot of I've got the Rocky Horror Picture Show 20th anniversary. A couple of those figures, not all of them. I think I've only got Riff Raff and Columbia. And there's some Persona 4 stuff at the top. We've got like a Big Daddy, some stuff that's like mine, and then there's a few bigger things in here that are mine, and then over here is just random stuff. There's really no rhyme or reason, so I may exclude that from the video, but I'll talk about why I'm excluding it, because it doesn't look that nice either. So you'll probably notice there's still some swaying. I know I've been saying for a while that I have ordered a tripod. I ordered it on Wish and I don't think it's coming. I'm going to have to either contact them or, I don't know. It said delivery date's November 17th. This is the first time I've ordered something that it hasn't come weeks early from Wish. So that kind of says something about the particular company, but I mean, I can't fault them if it's here by the time they say it's supposed to be here. Obviously, I'm still going to leave a good review. It's just a little weird that it's taking so long to come when everything else that I've ordered from them has taken about 2 or 3 weeks less than anticipated. So, got my Lucky Gundam mug again because it's been an absolutely terrible weekend. Let's get into it. So, I went to the last 2 weeks. The reason I haven't vlogged is I've been getting ready for craft shows. I've been trying to do a little bit more craft shows because I'm trying to make a name for myself locally, and unfortunately it's really not going that well. I am going to be going to another craft show this weekend at the Pagan Pathways Temple in Sterling Heights. That one is to benefit the temple. It's going to be a lot smaller, but actually a good friend of mine who does really good social media. She's not a good friend of mine, but I do know her through the convention circuit, and we've spoken many, many times. I feel very comfortable speaking to her. I feel like I know her decently well. And she is going to be there too. And I just got her in because they were looking for at least one more crafter, because they've got a few people doing divination, and they've got, I think, somebody doing Reiki. And then I'm going to be there not only with my general audience stuff like my scarves, but also with my my steampunk and my Lolita stuff, because I'm going to be spending pretty much the whole week is going to be making scarves for an order, knitting at night while my husband and I watch TV, and then I'm going to be ironing all of my Lolita and steampunk stuff and steaming it and getting it all ready so it's pretty, because it's been folded up for over a year. And folding up taffeta is not the best idea. You know, it wrinkles very easily, and those wrinkles are very hard to get out. So so the great thing about our roommate moving out, as much as we desperately miss her, is that she had the master bedroom. And the master bedroom not only has its own bathroom, but a lot of closet space. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily bigger than the bedroom that my husband and I are in, because the bedroom that we are in was actually 2 bedrooms that had a wall between them, and then his grandmother, who used to own this condo, took that wall down, and now it's 1 big bedroom. And so it's quite big. I haven't measured them. I don't know what the actual measurements of the bedrooms are, but our bedroom is quite big, and the master bedroom maybe just a little bit bigger, but it's set up a little bit better because it's more of a square instead of a rectangle. So I feel like it's a little easier to place things. So our daughter has a play area now, instead of her play area for when I'm working being down in the basement away from a toilet, and where it's kind of like musty, and I think we might be getting some mold in our basement. We're going to be having somebody come check for that soon. Instead of being down there working in those conditions, and also it's got those big tube UV lights that I hate so much, they give me a headache. Instead of doing that, we're going to be working up in this new craft space that is basically the master bedroom. And we're not sure how much longer we're going to be in this condo, because my in-laws are talking about us selling the condo and either moving into the family home, because they want to move to a 1-story. We might be moving into the family home. We're not 100% certain yet. We may end up selling both homes and just picking something from scratch that we can kind of build our own home around. I'm not really sure which one I want to do. The family home is absolutely beautiful, but it's also it's the home my husband grew up in. And not only is it a house that I don't know if it's going to feel like it's my home, it's also pretty big and a bit expensive, and we're not really sure if we can afford all of the bills on a house this size. So I've been really pushing myself with my business. I've been trying to social media the crap out of it, and I'm really, really hoping it's going to start doing overall better, so that we might be able to afford it, just because it is much easier to move into a home that at least one of us is familiar with. My husband's excited about moving into the family home because he knows so much about it. He was talking about how our daughter's going to be in his old room, and he knows that room is drafty, so he knows when to start thinking about weather treating the windows and how drafty it can be, and get her an electric blanket and all those little things. And also, my mother-in-law is a wonderful gardener. I wish I was a better gardener. And so having somebody who knows what to do with the house as far as gardening goes and keeping up this beautiful garden would be helpful, instead of either having to build from scratch, which I wouldn't mind doing. I am a bit of a green witch. I do enjoy gardening, except the spiders. And I could do it, but not at a yard this size. And I like the size of the yard. I would love to have a big yard for doing rituals, outdoor rituals, and having friends over. It's nice. So I'm at a dilemma though, because picking a whole house from scratch, and not feeling possibly judged by the choices I make in decorations, that's very enticing to me too. My husband's really gung-ho about moving into the family home. I'm very on the fence. He talked me into it when we were first told this was an option. So anyway, that was a whole freaking tangent. We're not sure how long we're going to be in the condo, and if we stay here much longer. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be done here that the condo association has not been taking care of that they're supposed to. Foundational issues, roofing issues, things that are supposed to be taken care of by the condo association. Which reminds me, I need to text my husband when I'm done vlogging and remind him he has to contact the association or the property manager again. So anyway, I've got my new craft space, and I'm hopefully going to be getting a lot more done there, and it's got a lot of space for me to, I'm going to try and put up a photography wall. So I'm going to get a nice solid backdrop. I was thinking maybe something cream colored because I do a lot of, I guess, warm tone naturals and neutrals. I like working with brown and cream, and I also like working with like reds, and I think those all look really good against a cream background. But I also have some very beautiful skirts that I've made and some more that I plan on making that are, like, one of them is beige with, it's like a beige plaid with dark brown striping, and I really don't think that would show up well on a cream background. And I already have some made that are blue and silver, and that's not going to look very good against cream either. So I'm going to need to probably get a few backdrops depending on what I'm making at the time. So the craft shows I've done the last 2 weeks that have had me so busy getting ready for them, setting things up, making things, all that stuff, were both flops. So I had the craft show back on September 30th, which the lady told me they were expecting something like 500 or 1,500 shoppers, like some ridiculous number like that, when we only had about 35 people come in and shop. Then the second one I did, Saturday was slow, but Sunday was a little bit better. The lady who ran it, I saw her on Facebook posting everywhere, and there was better signage. When I came in Saturday morning, the signage was not good. You could barely see it. When I came in Sunday morning, you could see it. It was out by the street. It was all the way. You had to kind of go through this subdivision, and it was at an American Legion, and so you not only had to come through the subdivision, but then you had to drive back through the American Legion, like a private street that led back to it, because it was back by a lake, and so it was like crazy getting back there. You couldn't find it. It was not the best situation. That was my kind of first red flag. And we did have more shoppers. I did make my table and my gas and my food and then a little bit of profit back. But when you actually factor in my, sewing machine upkeep and the fabric costs and thread and, the electricity bill that goes up when I work more and all that stuff, I probably really didn't make that much. I maybe made $5 at that show. Then the other show I did, and this one was the really disappointing one, and this had me really, really depressed for pretty much all day yesterday, and it's Monday now, and I'm still pretty down about it, even though I did get, I have 4 packages to ship from my Etsy now, and that's pretty nice. And then I've got a big custom order for a friend of the family, which is also pretty nice. The show that I went to this weekend was in Ann Arbor. It was at the Washtenaw County Fairgrounds, and there was a lot of shoppers. But there were 2 problems. Number one, there was a LuLaRoe festival associated with this particular craft fair, and that LuLaRoe festival was in one building. There's 3 total buildings for this whole show. It was kind of crazy. So we had the LuLaRoe festival in one building. My building seemed to be a mixture of crafters and direct sales representatives. So I was across from a Simply Tasteful, I think is what it's called. It's like a baking company, a direct sales baking company. But next to me was this lady who did nothing but jewelry. She had some cool steampunk stuff. She was kind of like rude and mean, and she packed up early, and when people saw her packing up early, they turned around and left, and they thought we were closing. So I had 3 hours where nobody even came to my table because I was further into the building than she was. She screwed me those 3 hours. I was really mad, and she never said hi. I tried to talk to her, and she completely ignored me. I tried to talk to the people at her table, and they completely ignored me. And she was like, she gave me this like look like, when I tried to talk to her, like, really? What is your malfunction? I think she was mad because I also had jewelry, but I didn't have necklaces. She had nothing but necklaces and bracelets. I have 2 hemp bracelets. She didn't do anything hemp. She was all charm. She worked with leather, that sort of thing. I had 2 hemp bracelets. One of them had little red beads, and the other one was an asexual, not the asexual pride, my friend bought that, was a genderqueer pride bracelet that I made as an example to show my friend. So I wasn't selling jewelry that was even moderately comparable to her. I'd understand if I had brought all my steampunk chokers, because she did have some chokers that were very steampunky. They weren't ruffled like mine. They were made out of lace and ribbon and that sort of thing. And mine are ruffled and they're big. It almost looks like a, not an Elizabethan ruff, but like they're ruffled. It's very Victorian kind of high neck ruffle that you can wear with like a low cut shirt to give a Victorian look around your face. Anyway, I'd understand if I had brought those, because those might actually be in direct competition with at least some of her merchandise. None of my merchandise was even moderately overlapping with hers, and she was a complete B to me. And I'm trying to keep this PG rated, people, I try. But she was rude, she was standoffish, she closed shop early and screwed me for 3 hours, and it was just ridiculous. Like, come on, aren't we both kind of running businesses? Aren't we, why are you so rude? And a bunch of my friends, I'm sure, will chime in with, oh, well, maybe she had social anxiety, maybe, blah, 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 blah. But she wasn't like that to the lady on the other side, and they didn't know each other. They were just like, oh, hi, my name is so-and-so, it's nice to meet you. And I saw them chatting each other up when I was setting up. And I tried to chat up too when she was done talking to her, and I tried to chat her too. I tried to be nice, and be like, hi, neighbor, you have some really cool stuff. And she was like, yeah, I do. And then she looked at my stuff and was just like, why are people so rude? Why are people so rude? So anyway, that was our building, and then the other building I think was like, I know there was some direct sales, because I saw like I think it was like a Young Living or doTERRA, one of those oil companies, essential oil companies in there, and it smelled really good because that's where the bathroom was. So I had to go back and forth to go to the bathroom. I had to cross to that other building. So the other building with the bathroom was a separate building, and then you had to cross through, and it was raining, of course. You had to cross through to come to our building, and by the time people had to cross through in the rain, and it got basically accosted by the people doing the raffle. Like, not accosted, they weren't super like pushy or anything, but you chat somebody up when they're sitting out in the cold. You want to make them feel better. So by the time they'd gotten through the first building and came and talked to the raffle lady and got into our building, the door that opened into our building, basically you can go either way. I was this way. This was towards like the front of the building where we loaded, and this was like towards the back of the building where we were. And then you can cut straight through. And if you cut straight through, that's where the LuLaRoe festival was. It was a whole building that was just LuLaRoe. Sorry, I'm always saying it wrong. LuLaRoe. And people were just cutting straight through to the LuLaRoe. They wanted to get there first to try and find like blank item that they really wanted. And then they were coming through with these big like bags full of LuLaRoe. And then there was one more LuLaRoe seller that was right inside our building, because I guess they overbooked the other building. And so people were stopping there, and then they were going back and up and back and back through to the other building. So they were skipping the front left of the building and the back right of the building, and I was in the back right of the building. And it sucked. I had a terrible location. Now, the ladies that were next to me, they're the Right Path, WRIGHT. They're really, really nice. They were at the last show that I did, the one that was kind of a flop but did a little better on Sunday. They're super sweet. I love those ladies, and they seem to do pretty well. But they were doing tarot readings, and they were the only ones there doing tarot readings. And there was somebody else who was doing some of the other things that they do, but they focused on tarot readings for the show. And they seem to do pretty well, but I think it's because the people who were coming from the LuLaRoe would come back, they would talk to the lady who did like the tuning forks and like past life readings and that sort of thing, and they would probably ask her, hey, do you do tarot or something, and they would send them over to the ladies next to me or something. I don't know, I didn't really ask them, but they seemed to do pretty well. But then people would get their tarot readings, and they would just walk straight past my table to go look at the lady next to me that had all the necklaces, because she had this really impressive display on this big piece of driftwood. And I just got skipped over. And by the time I got home, I was so emotionally drained from it. And I turned to my husband, I said, message received. The general populace does not want what I'm selling. And my business is not going to be sustainable if I continue only selling to friends and family and making a sale here and there, you know. And basically I have to push every day, all day. I have to spend as much time sewing, as much time as I spend sewing, I have to spend on social media pushing my stuff. And it's been just emotionally devastating for me because I don't have that much time. I can sew, I can spend maybe half as much time sewing as I do, or half as much time, you know, social media pushing as I do sewing. In fact, I have to do some social mediaing in a little bit here. And but I can't do it all. I can't. And like today I've got, one of Pepper's friends is having a dance thing where her dance school is letting them bring a friend, and she wanted to bring Pepper. So Pepper's going to be going to this dance school thing, and then directly after that we're going to Kinder Music, and directly after that I have to come home and cook dinner, and then it's bedtime, and then it's sitting with Joe and knitting. I don't even have time to sew today. Like, it's 10:12 right now, and I'm going to do my social media stuff because there's Miscellaneous Mondays on, I forget if that's the MFM craft community I'm a part of or the main MFM group, because there's Miscellaneous Mondays and something Fridays, and I did the Friday one, and now there's the Monday one, and it's two different groups that do it. And that's where I'll post a link to my my Etsy. I'll be like, hey, I've got these items that are MFM related. I've also got a lot of really fun cozy scarves if you get cold, or if you like, you know, to have cozy scarves. And I'll be posting new stuff this week. I'm going to be posting all my Lolita and steampunk hopefully in the next week. I've already told people this week, and I've done that 3 times, and I need to do it now. So I need to do that. And then by the time I'm done with that, that usually takes 30 to 40 minutes for me to do it, and then get off of Facebook, because by the time I'm done doing that, I feel really awkward and weird, and I want to spend some time doing like just random junk online, because I get very socially awkward feeling. I get the socially awkward feeling, like I get this tightness in my chest when I have to self-promote, that like, why am I doing this? People don't want what I'm selling. This is ridiculous. My stuff is crap. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's this constant nagging self-doubt, because I've basically spent my whole life thinking that nothing is ever good enough. I'll do my social media posting, I'll force myself to do it, and I won't be aggressive, but I will be definitely, you know, strong-willed about it, and then I just feel weird. So, but we're at 24 minutes now, and I didn't even think I was going to talk for that long because I kind of have a lot to do. So I'm going to stop this here. I am going to go get my stuff done and get some sewing done. And I'm probably going to try to do another vlog this week. Editing takes maybe twice as long as doing the actual video, so I'm probably going to do my editing tonight instead of my knitting, even though I do have a knitting commission I should be working on. I'm going to edit this, and then what I might do is do a fun either knitting or yarn related video. I might just take out, I have this box of yarn that's all like sock yarn, and I might just sit down and talk about all my sock yarn and what I'm going to be using it for, because some of it's for shawls and some of it's for socks and some of it's for gloves and blah blah blah. So we'll see. I would like to do one more vlog this week to make up for the fact that I didn't do any for 2 weeks. So maybe, you know what, comment down below, do you want me to do that box of yarn, because I've got some nice yarn in there I'd love to talk about, and I can bring some things I've made with similar yarn like down to my vlogging area, and I can talk about all the things I've made. So do you want box of yarn vlog where I just talk about yarn for however long it takes me to get through this box of yarn, or do you want me to go through and show off all of my collectibles? So please, please, please comment. That would be great, because then I can actually know what people want me to talk about. And I'm also probably going to have a vlog soon where I talk about video games, because I've actually started making myself take time to play video games. That's been very important to me, having some me time. I hadn't been taking it for weeks, and it was really starting to get to me. My blood pressure got out of control even on my medication, and I need to take more time for me. And so that's what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks while my husband does his rehearsals, is instead of watching TV, I play video games, and I can talk about what video games I've been playing too. So comment below, let me know what you want me to talk about. I am one of those people that I've got my hands in a whole bunch of different baskets, and is that the phrase? You got your hands in a bunch of different baskets. Whatever. I have a lot of stuff going on all the time. I'm always reading. I'm always playing video games. I'm always working on knitting projects. I'm always researching things. I've always got other crafts going other than my knitting. I'm always looking into like new fun things to do with makeup. And like here, I got my roommate before she left lent me, or not lent me obviously because they got used, but she gave me some Jamberries. I wish my phone would focus a little bit more, but if you can see them, let's see if I can't get it to focus. Anyway, there we go. But they're little skull and crossbones with like little stars. These Jamberries are over a week old at this point. They're like a week and a half. No, they're about a little over a week. And I am really hard on my nails. I even managed to destroy Jamberries. This is like my friend who sells Jamberries is like, you should be a Jamberry consultant. You love them so much. You know so much about them. I'm like, no, because I can't do that. It's like 2 weeks and they still look great challenge because I am way too hard on my nails. And I've been watching Simply Nailogical on YouTube. And there's all these things that she's like, oh, do it this way, do it that way. And like one of the things, I will never remember to open a soda can with a spoon instead of my nails. I won't do it. I won't do it. So whatever. I work with my hands too much. So even if I did manage to get like really nice nails, I wouldn't be able to grow them out very much past my fingertips. So, which is why another reason I use Jamberry, because I can't wrap the tip of my nail polish, which apparently makes it last so much longer. So 28 minutes. Okay. That's all for today. I am gonna probably edit this down a little bit. So when I say it's 28 minutes, you guys might only end up seeing 24 of it because there's lots of pauses. The first like minute was me just messing around with angles and stuff. So that's gonna get edited out too. So thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, Tumblr, Pinterest, as Be My Full Moon, and you can follow me on Twitter and Ravelry as Aouray. That's Aourai. I will try and list all of those down below like I always do, and I will put some fun links. How about that? I'll put some fun links down in the description for Etsy shops. Let's put some fun links to Etsy shops. I'm going to support some of the Etsy shops that I follow. And you guys can go check them out and you can check me out. And the holidays are coming, so make sure you get in on some fun scarves. And I'm going to be posting my Lolita stuff soon. So, I don't know why I said it like that. Thanks so much for watching. And I will talk to you guys all again later this week, I hope. And maybe eventually I'll get around to some more of those crochet videos. Bye!